All right, I'm gonna try something new. A feeling that I can remember very, very clearly from sometime around 2014 or 2015 is being in a high school classroom. And I mean, I call them friends, but, we was never like that tight. Classmates at the time in the class showed, well, they were showing each other, and then I think I showed up a bit after the video for Mick Jenkins' Jazz. And that's a moment that I remember very clearly, is watching that video for the first time, hearing that song, and being like, what the fuck is this? And needing to hear more and listening to more from then. Jazz comes from a mixtape called The Waters. The Waters has a song on it much later in the track list, and it also had a video too, called Dehydration. Dehydration is probably one of my favorite Mick Jenkins songs, one of my favorite songs from, that time period. And it's produced by a producer named DJ Dahi. DJ Dahi is probably one of the most underrated producers from, the 2010s kind of era. He also did, people probably know him for Money Trees, because that was like one of those songs that kind of comes and comes back, and it was like a meme. I remember people were putting like clips of the song over like the Diary of a Wimpy Kid Project X scene or whatever. DJ Dahi also produced Cartoons and Cereal for Kendrick. And if you listen to Cartoons and Cereal and Dehydration, they're produced very, very similarly. Not just in terms of the beat sounds similar, which is usually what people talk about, but like literally produced similarly in terms of how the vocals are layered. There's this part on Cartoons of Cereal where Kendrick is doing this like kind of harmonized Elmer Fudd say, shoot him down, like that shit. On Dehydration, the portion is like skipping me a little bit, but there's a similar layering effect on it as well, which I think that comes from Dahi. To have two songs that he produced and they sound so similar. I think it's from him, which is interesting because Kendrick does that layering all over his projects from that time. You hear it a lot on Pimp a Butterfly too, which I don't actually know if Dahi, off the top of my head, had any production on that. But the chorus on Dehydration really, really hits me. They killed Malcolm, they killed Martin on the spot, and I'll be damned if they be blessed if I die here. And I know you know, I keep a pistol and a Bible if they try me out. And here. And I know you know, I know that I'm wrong, but the shy is all I know. I know you know, they won't take my home, they won't break my home. It's gonna always be my home. If you were to ask me to list out a memory from 4 years ago, list out a memory from college, list out a memory from, any of the colleges that I've been to, or just from that time, I can't remember. I cannot remember massive chunks of my life. It is gone. A big portion of Black Iron Prison was this talk about the memory theater. And, I've been reading into memory and stuff like that. And, a lot of that also has been coming up in terms of the current studies that I'm doing for the work that I do. And I say studies like I'm really sitting down and focusing when it's a very difficult task for me. Yeah, your memory will leave you very fast. And you have to find ways to construct it, you know, code it, encode it into things so that you can find it again.